the production house for the Lupe and Roy show. So if you like the Lupe and Roy show, and you want a podcast that's, got the same level of quality, Say What Media put that together for you. So you can go to saywhat.media and check out the options and stuff and go from there. We are a full podcast service. You know what I'm saying? Help make your podcast for you. Oh, Fool's Gone Wild collab. Oh, that might be kind of cool. Lou's Gone Wild. Ooh, look at me coming up with ideas. Maybe. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for y'all that don't know, the podcast's been out for about 2 months. We drop the podcast every week, and we're on episode 8, something like that. Well, we dropped 4 episodes the first drop, so maybe a month and a half, maybe. Going good. If you haven't checked out the podcast, the Lupe and Roy show, make sure you do that, please. Glasses. Glasses might be tough, but, possible. What day for the podcast? We drop the podcast every Thursday, but you can go to Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and the episodes up to now there. We also got a couple episodes up on YouTube as well. So if you just search the Lupe and Roy show, you will find it. With Tom Frank, but yeah. Is Say What Media only for podcasts? Yes. Right now we don't do podcasts. But I mean, podcasts can be whatever you want it to be. So whatever it is, we can figure it out. Love from Mexico. Shout out to all my Mexicans. Reporting live from Mexico. How do you feel about all the recent murders and shootings in the hip hop community? I mean, it's fucked up. But again, you gotta create the separation between the street shit and the music. And, sometimes things happen, little altercations get taken out of hand, and, things escalate to a level where they shouldn't have. And, maybe certain folks at another context, another time would have had a different response and reaction. But in that moment, they didn't. Other cases is, you got to be careful where you at. You got to be careful how you move. You got to you can't move how you would normally move, especially when you moving around. You got to kind of stay vigilant and make sure that you you got to be careful with who you be fucking with in certain places. Everybody ain't cool with you. They bring them to your, you out of town somewhere, moving around somewhere, and you got some faith in some niggas who supposed to be the ambassadors of the town, but they really the jack boys and the shitty niggas. So you just gotta be careful how you move and who you move with. How you let people know how you move, all that stuff. So, yeah, man, it's unfortunate. It's definitely unfortunate. I wish, hopefully, we can come to some type of resolution on that. But at the end of the day, a lot of this shit is street shit. It ain't got nothing to do with music per se. You know, it got something to do with people's outside of what they doing in music, and it just bleed over into music. So, you know, gotta know how to create that divide. That's really it. Yup. The new Aesop IT record, yeah, man, get that. The Spirit World Feel God. It's a dope ass album, man. Again, Aesop Rock IT always putting it down on his records. Nice, dense, listenable. You know, really good song, really good production. So, I mean, I enjoyed it thoroughly. So if you haven't got it, make sure you check out Aesop Rock new album. Not ASAP Rocky, Aesop Rock. New record called Spirit World Feel God off Rhyme Sayers. He signed to Rhyme Sayers, I think. Yeah. So make sure you go get the new joint. It's pretty dope. I thoroughly enjoyed it. That's cold-blooded. My neighbor thinks he's a DJ, but his transitions is trash. Do I send him YouTube tutorials or move? Man, leave your neighbor alone, cuz. But I hear you. If you like his, I mean, you gotta tell him or her, you know, like, hey, you need to work on your transitions. Or you gotta stop this. You gotta stop this madness. Right? Either get your transitions tighter, or you need to go and chill out, or they need to use headphones. You know what I'm saying? Just tell them to put some headphones on, and don't take off them headphones until your transitions is tight. That's what you should do. You should just knock on their door and hand them some headphones. Like, you need to use these until you get your transitions together. That's hard too, man. DJing that's an art and a skill. So yeah. How do you feel about the call for canceling student debt in the U.S.? I mean, maybe canceling people's interest. Like, I'm not mad at that. Like, certain interest rates be a little crazy, but at the same time too, I mean, I don't think school should be free, to be honest. Like, nah. You need that incentive for somebody to go in there and work. You know, like, imagine if just school was just free in today's climate. Really, you don't even need it no more, because, you know, you could really, well, I won't say that. You could learn so much more just off the internet. You don't really need a building to do it. But with all that said, I don't think it should be free. I don't think that's fair. I think there's some value in people teaching classes and, you know, giving their knowledge to someone else. I think they should be compensated for that. Period. And I think there's certain folks that, you know, you need to appreciate it. And some people don't appreciate what they don't pay for. It's not everyone, but some people, they just like, fuck it. But what keep them focused in class and doing their work is they know they paying for it, you know, as opposed to them just getting it for free. So there's a certain value in that, a certain logic in that. But interest payments on certain things may be a little high, for sure. So maybe certain folks that are like crippling, but not like just your debt period, like what you owe without interest. Not at all. Like, you decided to go to that school, that shit, $35,000 a year. Pay that shit. Like, pay them people. You know, or find an alternative. You don't have to go, right? But if you want that, whatever that reason you was going for, and whatever that document, that diploma or whatever it means to you, that degree, you got to pay for that shit. Period. Yeah, being a student is always free, but being a member of a certain institution, which is going to provide you with crazy amounts of mental knowledge and access and all of that stuff, and you got to pay for that shit, bro. No, don't cancel the interest, but don't cancel the debt. See, the difference is the interest payments go to the people that you borrowed that money from, the banks and the financial services and all that shit. But that tuition goes to the school, right? So you need the school. Appreciate you checking out the merch, right? But to that school, bro, like, you need to pay for that. You need to make sure that the staff, the teachers, the rooms are clean, the janitorial services, all the grass is cut, all that shit that you enjoy about being at your school, right? You need to, if that's the way you finna be living for 4 years, then you need to pay that shit. Your fees and rent and lights and all that shit, man, pay for that shit, bro. You know, I'm not with that. Not on that train. But in terms of the interest, yeah, like the banks, they can give a little bit back. You know what I'm saying? They got to be that high. So, and it shouldn't be a deterrent from people wanting to go to school either, because that's what it does, right? If you know you can't afford to pay for it, you got these crazy interest payments way on the back end. That's why I didn't go to college, because I was like, I'm not paying that shit. So, because I couldn't afford it. But at the same time too, that allows you to go to school. So I'm not mad at that either, because like, somebody say, look, man, what you finna gain in this 4 years, and then how much debt we finna put on top of you, you finna get enough of the information and education to lead your entire life. You know, if you pick the right courses and, you know, pick the right situations to get educated in, I mean, it's gonna pay you forever. Like, your life is set for the rest of your life, you know. So that, for me, that 4-year investment and whatever that takes, the payoff, you can't measure that, bro. So if you like, man, I'm finna be, you know, $150,000 in debt, or I'm finna be $60,000 in debt, like, bro, you got an education that's finna last your entire life. right? That you wouldn't have been able to get if you wouldn't have took them loans. So I'm not mad at that either, right? What you should be doing, if you're really worried about that shit, I'm assuming everybody on this chat's not in high school, but if you are in high school right now, what you should be doing is focusing on getting as many scholarships as you can, right? Try and get it offset as much of the cost so you don't have to take them loans, or the loans that you do take are really, really small, and do whatever you need to do academically from a scholarship standpoint while you're in high school right now to do that. And if I'm not mistaken, you can still apply for scholarships when you're in college, right? So there's definitely different ways to get your school paid for. You know, if you're going to be an athlete, be the best athlete that you could possibly be, and, you know, to get your school paid for. So there's ways to do it. But even if you're not an athlete, there's tons of stuff that you could be signing up for and applying yourself to different certain situations while you work, get scholarships for. And it's funny because niggas who ain't got no scholarships, who ain't do none of that work in high school, they go get in all this debt in college, and they turn around and complain, talking about they don't want to pay for that shit, but you didn't want to do none of the work to at least offer. Your dad at your fucking dorm. Get the fuck up out of here. High school was not free, man. Like, that was paid for by tax dollars, right? There was tuition at high school. It wasn't free. Teachers had to get paid. People had to get paid. Lights had to be kept on. Shit had to be kept clean. Food had to be bought. That shit was not free. School is free in Japan, though. No, it's not. No, it ain't. What are you talking about? We definitely had to pay school fees. At my school, we had registration fees. For sure we did. At my high school.